last draft or next year's draft?
Well, first of all, I'd like to wish Khalil well. He was a great player for us, a great person, a great teammate. I did have contact with him yesterday too, exchanging, our best wishes to him and thanking him for being a great Oakland Raider. But the negotiation was what it was. It was tough. It was a long process. We talked about it daily. We made an offer. I don't believe we were anywhere close to where the Bears were. And the Bears made us an offer that we thought was really unique. And very, very tough to say goodbye to a great player. But here we are today.
Jon, why not just wait to see if he would report?
We have waited. We waited and waited, and the Rams game was looming. Our feeling was, he was not going to report anytime soon. And like I said, I saw the Redskins go through it with Kirk Cousins. It's a long process. You can wait it out. You can franchise them. You can force them to play. But we made a decision, and we're going to stand by it.
And guess what? I wouldn't trade you guys for anything. My name is Mitchell Renz. You're watching the Raiders Report, and today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Now, Raider Nation, let's get into some high-quality Raiders news, because that's what we do here. We break down news, I break down rumors, then I got a fun little segment for you guys coming up next. The first rumor, though, I'm going to hop into, and it's a good one because, well, guess what, guys? A lot of stuff happened this weekend. I don't know if you know that, and in case you live underneath a rock, well, Khalil Mack was traded. Now, I don't know about you, I was unbelievably surprised to see Khalil Mack get traded, and I woke up from a text from my buddy, shout out to Travis. He's like, yo, did Khalil Mack really get traded? And I was like, damn, I can't believe this actually happened. I was more shocked, and believe me, I woke up next to way, way worse things, believe me. But now Khalil Mack said that he was unbelievably surprised to be a Bear, right? So his quote was literally, I was definitely shocked. But Mack also had this to say, I was definitely surprised, but it's kind of, okay, word, what time is my flight? And then ultimately this is just one of those things that it kind of happened spur of the moment, and I think it kind of took the Raiders off guard a little bit, and apparently it took Khalil Mack and definitely Derek Carr off guard. The next bit of news I got for you guys coming up on the board here, it's Brandon LaFell, and well, the Raiders traded for another guy that's over 30 years old. Brandon LaFell is 31 years old, and he's coming over from the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, interesting signing here. This one happened literally a few hours ago. The Raiders are signing former Bengals wide receiver Brandon LaFell to a one-year deal with some upside. There was a need after Martavis Bryant was released. LaFell was released by the Bengals this offseason. The 31-year-old spent the last 2 seasons as the number 2 receiver in Cincinnati, compiling 1,410 yards on 96 catches and 9 total touchdowns. Now, Raider Nation, here is our depth chart at the moment. Amari and Jordy are the 2 main guys, and Seth's going to be working out of the slot. They have still yet to put Brandon LaFell actually officially on the depth chart, but he's going to be playing behind Amari Cooper, and he's probably going to be splitting some time with a guy like Seth Roberts. Now, this is our depth chart. What do you guys think? Okay, grade the Raiders wide receivers right now. If you think it's an A, give me a heart. If you think it's a B, give me a thumbs up. If you think it's a C, wow face. Or if you think it's a D and F, well, that's a laughing face. Guys, what's going on? You guys are a smart group of people. You guys always hit me up, especially Hungry 420 and his son, Young Hungry. Shout out to you guys. And if you guys want to challenge me on FanDuel, that's what I need you to do. I need you to go on FanDuel.com/chatsports. Got it? FanDuel.com/chatsports. You're going to put down $5, and then we're going to give you 20 for free. And then if you want to challenge me for free all season long, you're going to slide on into my DMs at MitchellRenz365 and say, hey, Mitch, get at me. Bring it, Raider Nation. Okay, the next bit of news I got for you guys coming up on the board here, Marcell Ateman. He makes the practice squad, and him and 6 other players did as well, but Ateman's the guy that I really want to concentrate on because Ateman was one of my winners after the preseason. So also on that list is Blacknell, Paul Butler, shout out to my friend Paul, Jason Cabanina, Daniel Levitt, Gabe Wright, and then Ryan Yurchek. So these are guys who they're adding on the practice squad, and the Raiders, well, you can have 10 players in total on the practice squad, and it's safe to say that they're probably going to add more guys. But the reason why I really like that they kept Ateman is because, again, Martavis on the move. I'm not totally sold on a guy like Seth Roberts, and Ateman I thought looked pretty good in that last preseason game, 4 catches for 34 yards. So ultimately, if Ateman's a guy that we can rely on, especially in the red zone, because he's a big-time receiver. He's tall. So red zone options for the Raiders, I think, is something that we really need to look into. Guys, if you're new to the show, I have a Raiders Rumors scale, and you guys can follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. But for you guys who are the diehards who watch the show all the time, yeah, you guys might not need this. But for the new guys, because guess what? It's a new season. Here is my Raiders Rumors scale. 0 Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that. This rumor, not going to happen. 1 Chucky head is a small shred of truth, 25% chance of happening. 2 Chuckies, people are talking, 50-50. 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely. I like to think of 75% chance of happening. 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. 100% this rumor is going to happen. And the first rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board here, AJ McCarron. He's going to be the backup quarterback for the Oakland Raiders. Well, guys, this is 4 Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. And why is it a believe it, baby? Because, well, there's nobody else there. It's literally just AJ McCarron and Derek Carr. And when that's the case, I mean, we cut EJ Manuel. We cut Connor Cook. So then guess who it is? It's AJ McCarron. He's going to be the backup for a guy like Derek Carr. And we're going to owe him $900 in base salary in 2018. We know Gruden was not happy with Connor Cook and EJ Manuel. And he even had a quote that said, hey, do we have a backup quarterback on our roster? Gruden said, I don't know. And then guess what? Literally a few days later, both guys are cut, and it's now AJ McCarron. So when you're looking at a guy like McCarron, hey, as long as he doesn't play, because that means Carr's in the game, that's what I want to see all season long. Now, guys, AJ McCarron, backup quarterback, got it, okay? But Jon Gruden is absolutely falling in love, and it's my next rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board, and it's a wide receiver, and it's Keon Hatcher. And, well, Hatcher balled out in the 4th preseason game, coming up with 8 catches for 128 yards. And believe it or not, I'm going to give this one 4 Chucky heads because Gruden absolutely loves this guy. An undrafted free agent a year ago out of Arkansas and has ultimately been pretty productive, I think, this preseason. And, well, this is ultimately, again, a good story to see. Now, Hatcher absolutely deserved to make the team. And from the sounds of this, like, Gruden is keen on using him in important situations. Gruden also came out and said that Hatcher's actually a reason why a guy like Martavis Bryant was let go, because they had that much confidence in a guy like Hatcher. And as you can see, against the Seahawks, 8 catches, 128 yards. My next rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board here, Martavis, was he worth the risk? Whew. Now, Martavis was one hell of a roller coaster all offseason, guys. I get it. But was it worth the risk? I'm going to give this one Chucky head, small shred of truth, because he's not on the team anymore, and it's frustrating AF for me. So, the 3rd-round draft pick the Raiders traded Pittsburgh for Martavis Bryant in April became his sunk cost Saturday when Oakland waived the wide receiver and cut down to reach the roster limit. Head coach Jon Gruden, though, said Sunday that he does not consider the trade a mistake. Sorry, Gruden, I do. I think the guy has superb talent, Gruden said, but Bryant is not doesn't have the offense down to a perfect science, and he's going to be criticized for that. And again, this is a reason why a guy like Keon Hatcher beat out a guy like Martavis. So was it worth the risk? I'm going to give this one Chucky head, guys, because guess what? I'm sorry. It wasn't worth the risk. We gave up a 3rd-round pick for nothing. My next rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board here is Jon Gruden. Well, was he not involved whatsoever in Khalil Mack getting traded? I'm giving this one 0 Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that. And it's because 2 reasons. One, if Jon Gruden wasn't involved, why isn't our head coach involved in the best player on our team being traded? That's the first thing. I understand Gruden said, I had nothing to do with it. My question then is why? Why don't you have anything to do with our best player being traded? We've heard the rumors offseason. I mean, I've been saying for the last month that Gruden has been talking about trading a guy like Mack because he wanted a lot of money, and they didn't want to put all that money into a guy like Khalil Mack and Derek Carr. Guys, I get it. However, I understand the Bears made the offer, but for Gruden to say he had nothing to do with it, even if that's true, that's so frustrating to me because why? Why is our head coach not involved with the best player on our team? Can anybody answer that question for me? Because I certainly can't. No doubt about that. Okay, guys, the next rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board here, and it's an interesting one. It's the Broncos are going to be AFC West champs. Well, this one is a rumor straight from Chat Sports, and it's actually straight from my roommate, Cam Rogers. And Cam, that's a joke, man. one Chucky head, small shred of truth. This has a 1% chance of happening in my book, and that's why I had to give it one Chucky head. So today on the Cam Rogers Show, which you guys can check out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, Cam had the balls to say the Broncos will win the AFC West. No, Cam. The Raiders are no longer contenders without Mack. Now, yes, sure, they're not as good without Mack, but to say that they're no longer contenders, not sure about that. The Raiders are going to finish third in the division. Cam, I still don't know if I'm sold on that. But for you to have the audacity to say the Broncos are going to be the AFC West champs, that's laughable in my opinion, because I think the Broncos are the worst team in the division. Sure, they have Case Keenum. Congratulations. Not all that good. But, Raider Nation, I know you guys hate the Denver Donkeys, and I want to know, how many wins will the Broncos have in 2018? Please comment below. If you think it's 0, maybe it's 0. If you think it's going to be 2, 3, 4, let me know. How many wins for the Broncos in 2018? Now, the Broncos, guys, they don't look so good. But you know who does look good? Well, I think I look okay in my Miz and a Main supporting me out here underneath this shirt. If you guys want a Miz and a Main shirt, I need you to go to www.comfortable.af because, guys, these shirts are indeed comfortable as F. They are the best damn dress shirt you will ever buy. Believe it, baby. Put it on the board. The next rumor I got for you guys coming up here on the board, DeAndre Washington is going to be traded. So, DeAndre Washington, Jalen Richard, these are two guys who I've been talking about a bunch on the show as potential trades. And, well, I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads because people are talking about a potential trade for a guy like DeAndre Washington. Now, Albert Beer wrote an article about players who could be on a tradable list. And he listed DeAndre Washington for the Oakland Raiders there. And this is one of those guys who, again, I've talked about numerous times because the Raiders are doing a coin flip between Jalen Richard or DeAndre Washington. And to be honest, if Chris Warren wasn't out for the season, which is absolutely kills me because Chris Warren was having an unbelievable preseason. If he wasn't out for the entire preseason, DeAndre Washington would have got cut because Chris Warren was absolutely balling out. There's a reason why you guys were calling him Baby Bo, am I right? So 2017, DeAndre Washington, 57 carries, 153 yards. That's 3.5 yards per carry, and then 2 touchdowns. Like, that's just not getting it done. Could he be traded? Sure, but, I mean, what are we actually going to get for a guy like Washington? Because, well, this current Raiders head coaching staff, they don't really think very highly of him, so maybe they just sell him for pennies on the dollar. Speaking of money, pennies on the dollar. If you guys want to win big, head over to FanDuel.com/chatsports. FanDuel.com/chatsports. If you guys think that you're smarter than me and want to challenge me on FanDuel all season long, that's what I need you to do. I need you to go to FanDuel.com/chatsports. You're going to make a new account. You're going to put $5 down. You're going to get $20 for free. So guess what? That's $25 in your pocket on FanDuel. And then you're going to slide on into my DMs, and you're going to be like, hey, Mitch, get at me. I want to challenge you on FanDuel, and I'm going to add you to my league. I'm going to be giving away prizes. I'm going to be giving away money, maybe nudes, maybe not. That's up to you guys to decide. FanDuel.com/chatsports. Raider Nation, thank you so much for tuning in to the Raiders Report. My name is Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. And if you guys think that I do a halfway decent job, please subscribe to the Oakland Raiders Report on YouTube. Because, well, guys, I'm going to be going live every Monday. And also, I'm going to be doing some fun things during the Raiders Monday Night Football game this week. We're going to be doing a little draft party. I'm going to be sipping beers, and I hope you all come for the ride because guess what? It's going to be a hell of a game. Okay, I talked about news. I talked about some rumors. Now I'm going to get into my second segment, which is 5 keys for the Raiders to win Week 1 against the Rams on Monday Night Football. In the first one, we got to get after the quarterback, guys. We got to get after Jared Goff. So the Raiders this preseason had 12 sacks, which is their most in basically like the last 5 years, right? So then Goff, I don't know if you guys watched a lot of Rams games last year. This dude struggled when he was under duress. We need to get him to roll out a little bit. We need to make him uncomfortable. The Rams, well, they have pretty solid cornerbacks. Or pretty solid wide receivers, my mistake. And the Oakland Raiders cornerbacks, I'll be honest, I don't think that we match up with a guy like Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, and then Robert Woods. I don't know if we can match up with them for the entire game. So, if we can get after Goff, make him uncomfortable, maybe hit him in the face a few times, make him a little shaky, that's when the Raiders, I think, could really take advantage of this game. Here's our Raiders defensive line depth chart right now. We got Tank Carradine starting. We got P.J. Hall. He's the starter there at defensive tackle. Then we got Ellis and then Irving at defensive end. I think a big year is coming up here for Irving, and this is a matchup that I think he can really execute. I want to see Arden Key heavily involved in this game, Maurice Hurst. Again, this was a defensive line, guys, that played very, very well in the preseason, allowing the Raiders defense allowed only 223 yards per game this preseason. That was top in the NFL. I understand it's preseason, but hey, we can have a humble brag here and there. Okay, the next takeaway the next key for me, if the Raiders want to win in Week 1, we need to establish the running game. Why? Pound the rock with Lynch and running back Co. Like, again, I'm not super sold on a guy like Doug Martin, but if he needs to spell Marshawn Lynch once in a while, I think it's something that we need to do. We need to keep the offense of the Rams off the field. Keep them off the field. Keep Todd Gurley off the field. And if we can do that with a solid running game, I like that. And also, the Rams have some big dudes up the middle. They got Ndamukong Suh. They got Aaron Donald. Big guys. Let's tire them out. The way that you're going to tire out big guys is just by running the ball down the throat. And with a guy like Marshawn Lynch, who over the last 5 weeks of the season last year, 424 yards rushing, I think can do it. So, tire them out, establish the run. I think that's going to be a big key for the Raiders this week. My next one I got for you guys coming up on the board here, it's controlling Todd Gurley. Like, yes, it's easier said than done. I get it. There's a reason why he was the Offensive Player of the Year last year. But let's control Todd Gurley. The linebackers, they need to step up and control this run game. The linebackers have played well this preseason. Let's give them some credit. And they can't allow Gurley to break off that legendary big play. He has, at least, it almost seems like at least once a game where he just breaks off a play, and that can't happen. That's going to be a morale killer. And especially a big game like this on Monday Night Football, like, you just can't afford to have something like that. We need to be able to put the Rams in predictable play calls. We can't have we can't have third down and 2. Let's put them in 3rd and 9. Let's make Goff beat us. Let's not allow Todd Gurley to run the ball down our throats. The next key for a win, well, pretty simple, right? Again, protect Derek Carr. Derek Carr right now is the guy who's the key to our ignition, I guess. Is that even how I do it? Is R. Kelly wrote a song, Key to My Ignition or something like that. Carr will face arguably the best defensive line in the NFL. That's scary. We've talked about it before. They have a lot of big, scary dudes up front, and we need to protect Carr because, well, Carr struggled a little bit last year. 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Sure, he was banged up a little bit, but when he got hit with pressure, again, he struggled. But when Carr was unbelievable in 2016, it's when he had that pass protection. And if we can get guys, allowing guys like Amari Cooper to get open, allowing guys like Jordy to get Nelson, Seth Roberts, maybe Brandon LaFell catch a touchdown. Who the hell knows, right? But if we can let these guys get open, that's going to be a key to winning this game. Protecting Derek Carr, very, very key. Probably all season long because I don't want to see AJ McCarron in the game. Okay, the next key for the Raiders in week 1, well, the Raiders are underdogs, okay? They're 4.5-point underdogs, so we need to win the turnover battle. We can't be turning the football over. We can't be giving the Rams short field because you're going to give this Rams team, who led the NFL in points scored last year, a short field. They're going to convert that into points. We can't do that. We need to be able to force turnovers against Jared Goff. Maybe we can get Gurley to fumble. Force the turnovers. Let's get a short field because this defense is very stout. They have solid corners. Short fields is going to lead to points for the Raiders. And then if we can kill the clock with the run game at the end of it, I like the Raiders' chances to win this game. So, a quick wrap up here. The 5 keys for the Raiders to win week 1 against the Rams on Monday Night Football. We got to get after Jared Goff. We got to establish that running game, control Todd Gurley, protect our dude Derek Carr, and win the turnover battle. Raider Nation, thank you so much for tuning in to Raiders Report. My name is Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365, and I'm going to be back next Monday. So, until then, guys, go Raiders.